Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, as we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. Relaxing as per usual. Sorry. I got a towel on my head. My hay fever is surprisingly not great today. Not in a way that's super disruptive. I have been sneezing a lot. That's okay. I'm alright now. It was basically just waking up and then I sneezed continuously. And then it was like, okay, 2 hours later, okay, good. Yeah, I mean, just had a bit of a wash, I suppose. I've got a towel on my head, so I can't hear what's going on. Hopefully you hear some things. Good evening, everyone. Now in Fawnhallow, it's 10:12 PM on Friday, June 13th, 2025. Unlucky for some. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, what to even talk about. Have I spoken about the fact that I got a toothless plushie which sits on your shoulder? And that sort of thing? I don't know how far I can carry that conversation going. It's a very interesting thing. I think I have actually spoken about it. It's whenever I spoke about action movies, about Mission Impossible, whatever. It's a very interesting plushie. There's a British chain called Cineworld. It's one of the few big like cinema chains, others being View and Odeon, which we don't often go to because it's really expensive, Cineworld, compared to View, which is very cheap, and View has very nice seats. But they were doing a promotion for How to Train Your Dragon with a live action. Is it going to be good? Don't know. And there was a toothless plushie, which I was like, that looks super cute. And I was like, wow, it's £20. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, I'll buy it. Is that a bad decision? Maybe. I don't think it's a financially valid, well, not valid, financially sound decision. Especially because at that point, I didn't even know it came with a magnet in it to sit on your shoulder. Is that worth probably like the markup price of like £8 more than it should be? What I would expect like a branded plushie to be worth from a big Disney like conglomerate. I don't know why I phrased it like that, but no, probably not. It is a bit strange to think in retrospect, but I bought this without even knowing that I had this, but it was a very cool thing, you know. You gotta love it, you gotta appreciate a toy which comes with multiple parts for a different functionality. But yeah, basically it comes with like this metal plate, which is, you know, obviously it's just a metal plate. It's got some blue like velvet felt thing on, and when you slide it under like whatever your outer layer is on your shoulder, like almost like as a pseudo epaulet, and then Toothless has like a little magnet, like just like where his tail starts, and then you can just pop him on the plate and he just sits on your shoulder, and it's very, very cute. I'm like, that's a genius conception of a toy, by the way. I absolutely, if I was younger, if I had a toy like that, you know I'd be wearing it to like school or something. I mean, it'd probably get confiscated because we weren't allowed things like toys in schools. Yeah, there's a lot of things which are banned in our primary school and secondary school as well, mind you. I mean, some things I understand, like some things were like expensive electronics were banned, like you weren't allowed to bring like your Nintendo DS in or whatever. Which kind of makes sense because like if it gets broken, you know, I guess the school doesn't want to be liable for that, and also deal with the aftermath, and also I mean you can use the reason that like the kids would be distracted playing it in class, but I feel like, I'm gonna be real, it's gonna be really obvious if a kid plays a DS in class or a Game Boy or something. That's my thought process, but maybe it wouldn't be, who knows. Yeah, so there's that. And yeah, it's a very cool concept for a toy. I think very simplistic. You know, I'm not sure how many toys there would be out there which make sense to sit on your shoulder, and honestly, it's not that convenient. Mainly because the magnet is really quite far back. I was gonna dig up that Lily of the Valley, but Amelia literally just watered it. I think it would be disrespectful to dig it up at this point. No, but like I don't know how convenient. Sorry, not how convenient, but no, I'm saying it's a bit inconvenient because that's it. The metal plate has to actually go quite far backwards along your shoulder because for whatever reason, Toothless has the magnet not in the place which would be like the base of him, like where his centre of gravity would be. For some reason, it really is like at the back, at the base of the tail. So you need to put the metal plate pretty far backwards for him to actually like magnetize onto it, which is wild, I would say. Not that wild, like it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but like it does seem just a little bit strange. Like I would have thought, if anything, it'd be more convenient. You know what? I mean, absolutely optimally, I guess you would have 2 small magnets, one near the front of him and one near the back, and it would sort of like anchor him in place. But that, you know, why do 2 magnets when you can more cost effectively do 1 magnet, I suppose. But like, I would have thought it'd be better just to put them like at least more in the base of like where center balance is. I don't know. I assume they tested it. I assume they tried it. And this is, I don't know, maybe it's easier to put it in the tail or whatever, because the tail is like a separate thing which is stitched on or something. So I don't know, XYZ. Part of me is want to be like, I'm sure there's reasons, but also part of me is like, I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a reason. It's just how it happened. I don't know. I don't even have other toothlesses to compare to, because it was literally the only one there. Like, they said there was a plushie, and I was like, that's super cute. And then I was like, I wonder if I should get one. And then my friend was like, oh, that plushie. And I was pointing at like where it was on the menu, and he was pointing at it where it was like literal physical plushie on top of a popcorn machine. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even see that there. But it was literally the only one there. And when I asked for like the toothless plushie, I thought the person, the cashier, the worker, she would like go to like a cupboard and be like, oh, there's like a stack of like toothless plushies out, whatever. No, she literally grabbed that one off the top of a popcorn machine. I don't know if there are any others. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. I can't say for certain. But I was like, oh, okay. I don't have any gripes against it. I was just sort of, if anything, I was just kind of more surprised. If anything, I was like, oh, I'm more surprised there's not like some sort of stock you need to pull them from. I mean, I don't know how long How to Train Your Dragon IRL has, I was going to say existed for, that's a bit of a dramatic way to say it, has been out for. Because if it's been out for a while, then maybe it makes sense that the plushies are sort of running out. I don't know, cinemas do a lot of these sort of like promotional merchandise things. This is the first one which it was like, this one's actually legit pretty great. I mean, but the one I do remember most of the time is because of my friend buying them. Where he would buy a Ben & Jerry's, like, I don't even know what the collaboration was, but it was Ben & Jerry's, and you can get a shovel if you bought some Ben & Jerry's or something with it. I forgot to dig up Lily of Anne. And then we came back to the cinema like a few months later, and it was like, oh, the collaboration's back, except for now the shovel is glow in the dark. And I was just kind of like, what on earth? My friend bought them, and at the time, you know, me being, I don't know, some no fun having teenager, I was just like, what's even the point of this? Me now would be like, you know, go off, why not? Get your shovel, eat your ice cream with a shovel. Bear in mind, of course, it was a plastic shovel. It was not like it was a legit shovel or anything like that. I was just sort of like, this is wild. The other one I do remember my friend buying is like, I think it was for Trolls. I'm not really sure. It was either Trolls or Frozen 2. I think it was Trolls. But it was basically those 3D glasses you get in the cinema. Not the red and blue ones from the old, like, what are they called? The stereoscopic things or something. But the more modern ones with the polarized lenses. It was basically one of those 3D glasses, except for it would look like a troll face. Kind of. It didn't really. If anything, it kind of looked more like, is it Bert or is it Ernie? From Sesame Street. Let's put Sesame Straight. It looked like Bert from Sesame Street. Sesame Straight. It's bright again. No, but I don't know if I can find it. Trolls 3D glasses. Oh look, there it is. It was for Trolls. There's a lot of Trolls movies now, aren't there? I've not seen any of them. It was a blue one with a black hair. Which troll was that? I've got no clue. Looks like it was Grumpy Troll, I guess. I don't think I know anything about Trolls, mind you. But anyway, movie theaters love doing their sort of collaboration things. I know there's some for like popcorn boxes or whatever, but I feel like most of the time they're really boring. It's like, oh, the popcorn box is kind of like themed or whatever. It's got like you know, cutouts from a movie on it or something, or it's like, oh, you know, the entire wraparound is sort of like got the aesthetic of XYZ, you know, which is like, I mean, it's like fine, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be like, that's terrible. At the same time, I'm just sort of like, it's not really like, I'm not leaping out my seat to buy it or anything. If anything, I'm surprised that Disney didn't do more collaboration. I mean, I know it's a different thing, like doing collaboration with like a franchised brand, etc., but I'm kind of more surprised Disney didn't do more bigger things, you know, things a bit more engaging merch-wise, like Happy Meals. Maybe we just don't get the return nowadays. Who knows? Part of me is like, I would love to look at the financials of that, and just sort of have a look-see. But yeah, I feel like cinema merch is just, it's untapped potential for like cool things. I was also thinking about this because there's Project Sakai. If you don't know, it's basically it's basically a Hatsune Miku rhythm game for the phone, which is much more popular. Well, not much more popular nowadays, but is pretty popular. Mainly because its storytelling is actually generally pretty good. It's not always like home run out the park, and I'll be honest, I haven't read every single story there is. I read the big ones, kind of, here and there, mainly the Nego ones, but or the Night Court ones, perhaps I should say, and yeah, at least most of their stories are pretty good, the ones I've read, I think. And I have had some of the stories a bit hit or miss or whatever, but I've heard there's been a lot of bad stories. Well, not like atrocious, as in like this is absolutely like garbage, but more like this is not that great. But yeah, I mean, it's decently popular. Anyway, the long and short of it is, there is a Hatsune Miku story which came out in sort of like collaboration with Project Sakai, because it's about the Project Sakai world. And it's actually quite common, I think, for Japanese theatre showings to do Japanese cinemas to do this, I suppose, with the collaborations, that you can go in and you can get like a little bit of merch or like a gift code or something. But the crazy thing is, it's actually like gacha still, because you had to go in and you'll get like one of X characters or whatever. So if you want all of them, you had to go watch the movie like X amount of times. Or I suppose you just buy the ticket X times. I mean, you don't actually physically watch it every time. But I think if you're that committed, you probably don't have any gripes of watching it that many times. The Project Sakai one is crazy though, because that's like 26 characters, I think, in that game. And I think you get one card every single time, which I assume is meant to sort of be like, oh yeah, you just kind of get one, and then maybe you like trade around with people for the one you want. But if you want the full collection, as collectors often do, you'd have to watch it 26 times at minimum. At maximum, who knows? Depends how easy they end up being to trade. I mean, not even that crazy. I mean, they're nice. They're like, we sort of like cut out physical cards or whatever. And I think you can redeem them to get like the actual cards in-game, but like in-game they're like the lowest rarity cards. They're promotional cards, essentially. Not essentially, they are. I will say the outfits are kind of great in it. That's the thing I absolutely love with the modern age of these style of games, is the fact that the outfits actually are very sensible. And make sense of a character. And show a diverse range of styles a lot of the time. Anyway. So, yeah, I don't really know what else I was going to say about that, to be honest. I'm trying to think of other sort of like cinema merch I've seen. And yeah, so basically long and short of that is, like, I guess it could be worse. Could be like a Project Sakai one where, I'd have to be like, oh, like, you want Toothless? Well, you're going to have to get like, you're going to have to watch, like 6 different movies. Otherwise, maybe you'll get like a Tom Cruise on your shoulder or something. Yeah. Sorry, I'm doing a thumbnail art right now as well. Friend on my shoulder. Does that make any sense? Nope. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, what was sort of like, maybe I should do this. View merch. View movie merch? I don't want merch of the actual cinema. I want like the collaboration merch I've already done. Toothless cup? £15 without drink? Of course. I mean, these are all very expensive, unsurprisingly. Toothless cup toppers. That's kind of cute. £4? Okay, that's like, I mean, it's expensive, but that's not unreasonable, I think. Popcorn bucket. £6. I mean, the popcorn buckets I remember, the collaboration ones, were basically the same, like, regular cardboard square buckets. This actually looks like a proper bucket. Gripper cup for Jurassic World. Who's Gripper? Oh no, grip is the name of a type of cup. I see. Jurassic World Rebirth. Superman. I didn't even know there was a new Superman. Popcorn bucket. Light up cup. £25. Popcorn machine bucket. What? Oh, okay. That's £30 because it comes with a little mini Superman with it. Okay, it's a bucket which looks like a popcorn machine. I thought it was legit a popcorn machine. I was like, that's crazy. Apparently Lilo and Stitch had some as well. You get little Stitches. I don't know. Cineworld, what movie merch have you got? Cineworld exclusive. A sippy Stitch cup. Yeah, there you go. There's a How to Train Your Dragon one. I would say mine does not look like that. In the photo. It looks like it's got like scales in the photo. But mine does not. I mean, I love my little goofy Toothless, mind you, but very much does not look like that one in the photo. Significantly darker as well. I do like mine one though. What have we got? We got Minecraft one. Oh yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't more movie Minecraft merch. You would have thought like there'd be Minecraft merch for legit everything. It was literally just McDonald's that we saw, and it wasn't even that good. I don't even know. Oh, it was Beetlejuice. I was like, I couldn't even recognise what this is. Wicked merch. Cineworld seem to like doing these much more practical, realistic ones, I suppose, rather than just, you know, bucket with theme. This is a popcorn container for Captain America: Brave New World. It looks like a red Hulk. How is that a popcorn container? It is £33. I mean, that's only £10 cheaper than my plushie. This book called Me 4 is a popcorn bucket, which is actually straight up a minion. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm jamming with. Cineworld, your tickets may be more expensive, but your movie merch collaborations, they're kind of popping. I don't know if Odeon even do any. Odeon movie merch. No, not really. We got a creeper topper on there. On the drink. We got a TNT Minecraft popcorn bucket. I can kind of see that. It's kind of a vibe. What is that? Oh, this Stitch one is cute. Is it a Stitch? Is a Stitch plushie holding a popcorn bucket? I cannot imagine how expensive that is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not going to the cinemas enough, or I don't pay enough attention. I swear I've not seen like any of these movies collaborations. Stitch collectible bucket? That's a bucket? That is crazy. That does not look like a bucket. Oh, these are American. No wonder. These are crazy. Anyway, I feel like I lucked out. Magnetic plushie. What a great idea. We need more things like that. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this episode up here, so if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been there, darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.